So now's the big question, will it start? No, no it won't. Right, muckers, so this is it, the Massey 1080. Right, so you'll probably know that this is the Fuddweasel's tractor, and he bought it as a non-runner, but all we know about it is it's, I think, an ex-French tractor, hence the strange cab, and it's got this sort of paraphernalia on it, which is, I think, something to do with some sort of sugar beet loader or cleaner that it had mounted on it. That's all going to come off apparently, but anyway, he assures me that it turns over freely, as in it's not seized. Doesn't run, but he said he's had it turning over, whether he had it in gear or whatever, I don't know, but he just said, yeah, no, it turns over. But it's hard to believe the word of a man that has gone and done this. I mean, you got to question his judgment when we don't even know if it runs or will ever run, and he's gone out and bought brand new link arms and other various bits and bobs here. What has he got here? I've got some new old stock stuff here. Leveling box. What else has he got? Oh, he's bought an exhaust. He's bought an exhaust for a tractor that we know it doesn't run. We actually know it doesn't run, and we don't know if it ever will run, but he's bought an exhaust. So you can see my point. You have to question the judgment of a man that has what can only be described as spare parts Tourette's. Anyway, we're here to do a will it start, because I said I'd do it for him. So we'll start with the basics. As I said, I'm going to put a socket and bar on here and see if it turns, because all the way around, yeah, as I said, I have to question his judgment. So we'll do that, then we'll check all the fluids, make sure we've got obviously oil, water and fuel, and then yeah, we'll see if we've got power to the starter and stuff like that. Well, you know the stuff, you've seen it all before, but yeah, it's a Massey, but it's a 1080, and I am kind of quite looking forward to seeing if she'll run. Right, so we go. Oh, it does. It does actually turn over. So now, you get some people that'll comment and say, you know, oh, you got to change all the filters and all the oils before you try and do will it start. That's great, because you love spending everybody else's money. But I'm not going to spend my money or the Fuddweasel's money, come to that, on something that may not run. Now, if I can get fuel to the lift pump and get enough fuel there that she'll fire up, then great. If it runs, then we'll put all new filters, we'll do all the oils, we'll do everything it needs, fan belts, a lot. You know that. But we're not just going to throw money down the drain and go, oh, well, it made a really big knocking noise and seized up, but we have got some shiny filters on there. Anyway, like I said, so the first thing I'm going to do, we've got the oil, we've got fuel in there of some sort. I'm going to look if there's actually more fuel in the fuel tank, wherever the fuel tank may be. I assume it'd probably be up here or in, I don't know. What do I know about these things? Nothing. It's fucking Massey. So I'll find if it's got fuel, and if it's got fuel, and we can get some through to the pump, then now we know it's got oil, and we know that, well, we'll check the water as well. That's the other thing, we'll check it's got coolant in. Not that we're going to run it for that long anyway, but we'll do all that. Stick a battery on it, get the churn of destiny, of course, get the churn of destiny, and well, you know the rest. What? That's always good, that you undo the cap and find a load of old clay and lumber.
That was fucked. That was a bit fucked.
Brilliant. I'm going to go for that she hasn't got any. Oh, she has actually. Look, can you see right down in there? I don't know if you can, but I don't like all this. Hang on. Yeah, that's not great. Well, look, if she does fire up, we'll do a coolant flush right through her. But at the moment, we got all the batteries, which I don't think work or are completely dead. So we're going to have to jump that, as I said, with the Churn of Destiny. So having a little look around, I assume these are fuel tanks here, one either side. Is that correct? With this type of cab? I don't know. I got all the Massey fans be saying, well, they're there, that's where they are, or that's they're over there. No, that's so-and-so, so-and-so. I don't know. I don't know. But, what we got? Blah, 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 blah. Lift pump, blah, 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 blah. That to there, that to there. That goes over there. And that, I think it is. I think that's some, there's one either side, so I think they are fuel tanks. Right, so basically what I'll do, I'll put the camera on the other side so you lot can see. I'm going to get on this, it's got a nice little remote lever, look, because you can't get to the lift pump, so they've got this. Look at that, look. How clever is that? Anyway, I'm going to be doing that, and you lot can see if we're going to get fuel out the other side on the pump. So that's a no, but what I have found, the other side, a little bit of a dribble coming out there, nothing much out, is this filter hose was pissing out everywhere.
Oh, would you look at this?
Yeah. Just gushing out. So, don't know why. That might be that little drain underneath. So, I might have to go and get a filter bottom to do this, because that seems to be leaking.
The following day.
Right, well, I'm back with some bits and bobs, and this here is, I don't know if you can see that there, can you? That washer had split, it's just perished and split. So I've got one off another filter housing, a new one we had on the shelf, and basically we put another one on there. So hopefully that will solve that for the moment, just temporarily, say till we change everything here. But first thing I want to do is get some fuel up. What I'm going to do though, I'm not going to rely on those tanks and everything down there, which I assume still are the diesel tanks. I dare say all the Massey experts will tell me that they are, or whatever. As I said, most Masseys I know have the tank up here, the smaller ones, 165s and stuff. Anyway, yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bypass, you see that I've just taken the off the lift pump. Okay, so what we've done quickly is put a fresh fuel supply here. I've got a pump on here as well, just to prime it up, and I've put another feed directly into the lift pump, which you can prime here, and that's now drawing out of that tank, so that's all good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to see if I've got fuel the other side in the pump. Right, so we've got a fuel supply of sorts. We also have, of course, the Churn of Destiny. What I'll do now is I'm going to put the switch on and whatever, because I'm trying to bypass a lot of the wiring. I don't even know what's going on up there. I can't even find a key. I don't even, as I said, not my thing. Well, I've looked everywhere, whether it's been removed or whatever, and there's wires off and that all over the place. Don't worry about it. So I'm going to see if I can just get it to cheech and turn. If we get it to turn, then we'll start looking maybe to, you know, see if we get it to go a bit faster and maybe introduce one or two substances. Anyway, let's see how this goes. Right, that's on there, and on there. Let me see if we've got anything. Ooh, we have actually. Bit of life there, it's good. A little bit better connection than that. Let's say they've buggered all the wiring off up there, so I'm just trying to bypass it all a bit. Right, well, she turns over. I wonder if I could get a better earth lead on here. Might be able to bolt an earth onto somewhere, because it just seems to want a bit more. But at least we know she turns over. If this don't work, we'll jump up to the battery on the 7/8. These leads are getting hot. It's just the trouble, you see, they ain't carrying enough current really. So I just watch if that turns over, and then we'll see if it's worth unbolting the other one. Right, so we've got a bit of life in there. We just need more power now, I think. So what I'm going to do is get the big battery off the 7/8, and I will rig up an earth that goes directly up to that strap up there, and then we'll see if we get enough power through her to get the turnover quicker. Well, that's good. She turns over. Right, now, day 300 and something, it seems like that. We were back up here again for the 1080. Something I've wanted to do for quite a while now with the Will It Starts is make up a set of remote leads. Because often we go and get these things out of the hedgerow and whatever, and the leads are obviously frayed or broken or missing sometimes. So, two really good thick cables here. Got the ends that we can put onto the starter and onto an earthing point, but I've got to crimp those on. I've got hydraulic crimpers here, little handset. I'll show you those in a minute. And on the other end we can put the terminals. So let's get those on, and then we can get the big Ford battery on the churn of destiny, and see if the old thing turns over any quicker. Like that. That's just in there. Got a good tweak and push in. Right, just release that there. That's on there. You can see on there. It's all crimped on, so that's good. People often try and get the rubber right up to the end there. The trouble is when you then move this or twist it, the rubber then pushes against that and it keeps pushing against it to push this off. So you always leave a little bit of a gap there. You can always tape it around the outside. Run a reel of tape just around there, so it allows for a bit of a joint. But as I said, when you put it against a bulkhead and you try to then bend it, it doesn't then push it off the end. Right, for those of you that are interested in what these are, they're just little hydraulic crimpers. So just a little hydraulic pump, and you can alter what sizes you have in there. They're all in the box there, different sets, different sizes. And basically all it does is turn that to a little valve there, and you just pump it up like a ram, which goes up against that top bar. And when it goes up against that top bar, whatever's in there, it suddenly then just brings them together, draws together, and crimps it on. Very, very simple, but absolutely brilliant, and we wouldn't be without them now. Right, everything's rigged up, and it is hot. I'm sweating like Fred West watching an episode of Ground Force. Anyway, so what a crack on, because I'm going to melt, I think. Anyway, what we've done is put the leads on. I'll show you made the leads. So we put the leads on now. We've got remote leads. I've got the, show you here, of course, the churn of destiny, and that is with the big Ford battery off the 7/8, because as I said before, this had two 12-volt batteries just to give it more oomph. It wasn't 24, it says linked, so they were just two lots of 12, giving it, you know, a lot more amps. So hopefully that'll do the same sort of thing. So we'll see what happens now. Right, as we know, this is a French tract, a French import. I don't know if they were built in France, these. Fudweasel will know. Anyway, but while I was in France just recently, I was in the supermarket. You know, you got your bread, your sugar, your biscuits and all that sort of stuff. And on the shelf there was Le Easy Start. Facom Easy Start. I mean, how good is that? Ether. Le Ether.
You said Minky. That is correct, yes. Chimpanzee Minky.
So, she needs a bit of a sniff, I think, just to get her going, you know. So, French tractor, French ether, a little easy start, and if it doesn't kick in, well, fuck 'em. well, we're getting a tune out of her. Got this whole stuff enough wet. Like water, but it's good. Nearly done a can. Anyway, let's now just prime her up. I had a bit of fun with that now. Let's prime her up a bit more. I might bleed her through this end. That even smells French. Fantastic. Right, we're still getting these cum puffins that, you know, oh, you shouldn't use these.
Wankers.
Listen, I told you before, I got a whole video about it, right? If you try to prime an engine up, then ether will just get that. You got bloody, if it's going to run on ether, then there's something wrong. But if you're just going to prime up, which is this has done, because before we didn't have any fuel here, it got it going quick enough, drawing it in, and she started to go, and it's drawn fuel up to these injectors now, all right? That's fine. If it continues to just need ether forever, that's fucked anyway, so it doesn't matter. You know, oh, you're going to get it addicted. Don't start the addiction thing, because that's just a load of bollocks, right? If it's become addicted that it needs it all the while, right, it's fucked. So you're not going to do any more damage. Sort your engine out. However, this one, like I said, she's now drawn fuel through to injectors 1 and 3. So hopefully 2 and 4 will pick up. If not, we'll split, you know, just break them down. As I said, they're just a pain to get to. Anyway, let's give it a go. Let me get some of that through there. She's up, she's primed on that, so that's good. Let me just go and I'll just try and bleed her through on an injector. Right, I've just got diesel coming through on 1 and 3, so I'll do them back up again. They're bloody awkward, these injectors. They're set off to one side, it seems. I don't know whether the injectors haven't been put in quite square or whatever, whether you can swing them a little bit on the where they clamp them down. I think you can, and they just didn't been put in quite right. But anyway, it is what it is. That's off there, so that's ready to run. So here's the question. Will it start? The fucking straight pipe. Who put a straight pipe in there? Anyway, we'll go with that for the minute. Right. With that, not missing a beat. Yeah. So done all the checks. We know bit of ether, well, a lot of ether. That's like water anyway. Just gushed out, but it's enough to get it to draw. Get it quick enough. Get a bit of ignition. Get a bit of warmth in there. That's the whole point. Get a bit of warmth in those balls, and then in the cylinders. Then in the diesel, you know, can do its stuff. Let them through, diesel gets through, did 1 and 3 injectors, up switch straight away. Oh, Bud Weasel's done alright there, I think. I'm really pleased with that. I'm actually really pleased with seeing the old girl run. Sweet as a nut. Sweet as a nut.
Sup, K-Dog?
You turned up just the right time, didn't you?
Why? What have you done?
Your scrap purchase.
Yeah. It was a scrap purchase.
It was a scrap purchase, yeah. But I had faith. You know I like a 1080. I had to change 1 or 2 bits about. I put on a direct feed on fuel. Obviously got the batteries there because there were 2 batteries that had it.
Yeah.
And so here's the question: is this a French-built tractor?
Yeah.
It is. Okay. So because I had give her a little dose of ether, Le Facon.
Yeah.
And it's gorgeous. Honestly, this stuff is amazing. It's just
oh, like Henry Cooper.
it's beautiful. It is. Yeah. It's like splash it all over. You know, I'm going to fire up in a minute. It's got a bit of a cheech on it. It's lovely.
Don't put your arms down too
No,
quick.
let's get fly fire. No. Yeah, so bit of a squirt. Got a bit of warmth in there. Put another feed on for the fuel because I don't know what gunge is in the tanks.
It's probably full of sugar beet.
It's probably full of sugar beet. Has got a real cheese today.
Quite nice.
That's fantastic. I think I'm the great tonight.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Just stick home with a can of that.
Yeah. extended leads. And obviously the big battery. Churn of Destiny, of course.
Well, you couldn't do a start
without that. And honestly, once I'd done that and got through, pumped up, I bled 1 and 3 injectors, just got a bit through, tightened them up, I don't know, 2-3 turns, and she was away.
Lovely.
So,
which is not bad for a 318, which is a generally horrible engine.
is it what it is? A 318, is it?
Yeah, they're a long stroke version of the 300, which was used in lots of combines back in the good old days. And
Right.
They're notorious for head failures and actually deck failures between cylinders 2 and 3.
Right.
So they, you know, to find one with 8,500 hours on it.
Is that what it's got?
Yeah, that still runs is quite an achievement. But as I was saying to you the other day, my plan when I bought it was because I wanted the wheels for the 175.
Oh, is that what you were going to do? Get
Yeah,
these big old PAVT cast ones?
yeah, which is what the 175 should have.
Right.
But my plan was to part it out, and
You can't get rid of this.
but it's grown on me now. I need to find the wheels elsewhere. It's really, you know, it's not going to take a lot to make it look.
Well, you've obviously had a bit of an inclination to keep it. You just done about 5 million quid on parts. You weren't going to get rid of this. So, like these parts, are they like new old stock or something, or?
No, that's just how Wengers do it.
Oh, they're Wengers as well.
Yeah.
So I see, right?
Yeah, that.
So they got
raised-
all these sort of things.
Yeah,
Then?
that raised a few eyebrows coming through customs. I can tell you.
I bet. But they've got what? Just loads of stuff. How much of it? Like in all of it.
They got all of it, and
Really, that's good.
They get the scrappers in,
Yeah.
and they dismantle them.
Right.
They clean the parts.
Yeah.
Label them up like that with
Yeah.
the original original part manufacturer's part numbers on. They do all of that, and then they got this like I can't remember how many hundred thousands of parts they've got in the warehouse.
Right. Frame 4?
There was a jib crane, gantry crane.
What for
thing.
load and beat?
I'm not
Was
not
that like
sure
a
what-
cleaner loader, or was
I
that? Do you
think
think?
it was something like?
Because they
it.
used to have a lot of mobile cleaner loaders where they'd
Yeah.
mount it on a tractor, wouldn't they?
Yeah, and I think that's what it was.
Right.
It's like I think they backed it into the
Oh right.
heap,
Yeah.
and
It's really substantial, isn't it?
yeah, because it came up here as well.
Did it?
Yeah, you can see everyone.
Oh, I see. It's all. Oh, it's a big thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
So let's say I haven't heard it yet. You've got all these big words about how it's running. I haven't heard it yet.
All right. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Well, that is lovely. That
It is.
really is.
I know.
It's way better than I thought it was going to be. In fact, didn't even know it was a runner.
I thought it'd run. I thought it'd run. You know,
But
but I did think that she might rumble a bit, but. But yeah, they're a nice tractor, and as I said, this one. I mean, I'll be honest with you, it was starting to become the worst will it start I've done. Nothing went right. So we had a leak on the other side, like we said, and we had this, that, and the other. And then batteries just, quit, and you can't get a big battery in there. It's two small ones.
It was
to
always
make.
for two. Yeah.
That's right. So it had to be the Ford battery, which I couldn't get in there. I tried the other ones, then the leads and the connect. So it was just, well, it's taken, basically. I mean, I haven't been on it full time, admittedly, but it's taken like 3 days to come back and getting bits and whatever.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, if this is what it's like now, just to even get it to turn over, this isn't going to be good.
Already apologised to people on my channel that I didn't do the final adjustments of the hydraulics on the 165, but I will be making that video on the 175 quite soon. So
Oh, well, I'll bake a cake.
Yeah. Well, you can laugh, but there's 3 people on my channel who are waiting for that.
Well, all 3 of them.
Well, I mean, one of them I think is blind, but
No, that's good. I've actually, I must admit, like with you explaining like the multi-power and that on the that's been good. Because it's something that is a bit of a, oh, that's got multi-power. And I said, well, how does that work?
It just does.
It goes downhill really fast if you don't have this or that, and you've explained
it runs
out.
away on hills.
I know, and you've explained all that, which is really good. So, you've got a, have you got like a load of videos about the 1080 on the channel, or you will
There's
have?
one,
You're going to build them up,
and
you're going to keep building them up.
and I'm going to keep building up. As I said about the ugliness delete videos, they'll start
Okay.
quite soon.
Well, I'll put a link to that at the end of this video,
Well,
and
that'd
in
be
the
good,
in the description box below this one. So
you
if
very
you know want to see more of the 1080 and keep up with its progress.
Yeah.
Now I've done my bit. That's where I sort of sign off on this one. But as I say, I will keep in contact with, keep in contact, obviously. But, I mean, but I shall keep in touch with, like, so my
Yeah.
viewers can see the progress on
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
and like the 165, because people are interested.
People love that 165.
They do. I do. I like the 165, and I do really like this whole thing.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm really happy that it fired up like it did.
Yeah,
So-
that is a. Didn't it sound lovely?
Yeah, it did. It does actually sound nice. I'm not saying it sounds nice through obviously a straight pipe,
but it would sound better with the correct box.
but it actually does. Wait a minute, it actually does.
We might make some modifications to that box.
Yeah.
when we put it
But
on.
yeah, that's good. Right.
Lovely.
Crack on.
Well, great. Well, thank you very much for that.
Pleasure.
And yeah, we'll be
Doing some more dirt now.
lovely.
Good. So there we go. Like I said, it was a bit of a struggle at first. Just nothing was sort of really going right with the diesel leak and then the leads and that on the battery and whatever. But yeah, just carry on, persevere and overcome it. And the end result being that we got the old girl running, didn't we? You like that, don't you? Yes, you do. So there we are. Hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, until the next one, do well.